Hello guys and welcome back to Newton Effects YouTube channel. And on this episode, we're gonna take a look at gold, EURUSD, GBP, Aussie dollar. And just a small reminder guys that this is my personal view of the market. So let's get started. First, we have gold, right? So I love to start off with a clean chart always guys, so you guys can get a good in-depth of what I'm seeing on this market. So let's start off with a clean chart. So let's make it full so you guys can see the full frame and structures what I'm about to break it down for you guys. So what we can see on gold in the overall is that we can see price is rallying to the downside. Price is creating lower lows and lower highs. We can see price is basically giving us beautiful impulses to the downside, right? So if we will look for structure levels, is we can see that if you mark this body here at 1729 area, we can see that price did respect this area, and we can see the previous how price did respect this and price rallied to the upside. So now what we can do is we can add more levels where price will most likely come and test and reverse. So we can mark this area here as well. I'm just gonna mark this body for now before we're gonna zoom into smaller time frames to see more clean structure, right? So I'm just gonna mark all of these areas. So let's drop down to our 4-hour time frame. So what we can see now guys is that from this box region, let's just mark this box region as you guys can see. Okay, let's read it from this point. So what I can see, right, price was basically forming this consolidation, and that is why I was drawing this box region, because why, in situation like this, it is very important to wait for price to give us a breakout impulse before we take any positions, right? Because why, the price is in the season and no retail trader knows which way the price will go. So that is why it is so important to wait for price showing us a beautiful structure break. So what we can see here is that we do have a beautiful impulse break from this area, right? Price did break this structure area and price give us a beautiful impulse candle to the downside. Now we can see we have a descending correction, right? Price is moving to the side and give us a beautiful descending correction. You can see price was forming another box region here and price creating this low and break the structure area to the downside. And we can see we have another beautiful descending correction to come and test this lows, and this is also acting as a level of resistance, and price give us a beautiful impulse to the downside. Here we can see this structure again, right? Here we can see the structure again, a beautiful structure break, a descending correction, price showing us a beautiful bearish engulfing candle, and then we have a beautiful descending correction to the downside, right? And that's also showing us the lack of intent to continue on to the upside, right? So that is why most of traders will see this as a double bottom, right? And they will probably take buys in this area, but still we must remain as a bearish in the bearish side, because why, we are breaking structure lows, right? You can see this was our structure, there was a structure and price was breaking this low area and then come to the downside. Now we coming for descending correction, as you guys can see, price coming for descending correction, showing us and giving us this beautiful impulse bearish engulfing candle, and price rally to the downside. So now what we can expect for price is to showing us that structure again guys. So if we're just fixing this for now, you guys can see if I mark this high, and now we can expect for price to come and test this lows here again. As we guys can see, we have a structure break from this level of support, a beautiful impulse break, and then we can see the descending correction, right? So if we run a Fibonacci from this high to this low, we will see price will most likely respect the 618 area, and we can come and test this lows here easily at 1729 again. So if we run a Fibonacci from this high to this low. So we can see that price will most likely come and test this reason right here and then continue on to the downside and come and test this areas again. The reason why I say so is that we can see that price is still rallying to the downside and we are breaking structural lows. So that is a good indication to tell us that price will still keep continuing to the downside, guys. So this is basically a small insight on gold and what to expect. Where will you look for buys? Everybody was like, okay, when will you look for buys? The only time that I will look for buys is that we have a structure break. Is once we break out of this highs, guys. Once we break the previous high, that is gonna give me indication that price is basically changing direction now. If we're not break out of this high, we most likely will be bearish, right? So that is why I will look for shells, because why we are basically in a sell territory at the moment. To take buys is going to be a bit risky. The reason for that is we're still trading under this high, right? Because we can see prices creating higher lows and lower lows, right? So that is basically bearish condition. So that is why it is really important to wait for clean market direction and clean structure breaks, guys. So this is my insight on gold. So let's jump into our next pair. So now we have Euro USD, guys. So I will start off with this on a weekly time frame, right? To see the overall view, guys, to see the overall view, to see the structure and the condition of the market. So what we can see in the overall condition is that price is basically trending now on this weekly lows, right? You see this weekly area, so this is also a strong level. So we can see that how price was respecting this weekly level previously, right? We can see here it's also a demand area. We can see this is the level of demand price is relative to the upside. You can see price was just running into this area and then give us a beautiful impulse to the upside. So now we know that price is basically at this strong demand weekly level. So let's scale into daily time frame. So now what I can see is that price is still rallying to the downside. We can see price is also creating lower highs and higher lows. So we can see prices rally to the downside. So one thing where I will look for clean buys is once price break out of this region here at 1.1738. Around this region, we can expect price to change direction, to showing us the direction change for buys, right? Only if price can break out of this region. But what we can see is if price respect this area right now, price will most likely come into this region here again, here at 16874. Price will most likely come and retest this region again and come and test this low area here again. Because why do I say that? Is that we can see we have beautiful structure break of this low. So price did come to the downside and come test this weekly level of demand. So if we scale into our 4-hour time frame, what I can see right now is that price was showing us here a beautiful structure break of this lows, beautiful low, descending correction. You see price was unable to give us a bullish pressure to the upside. We can see the lack of intent of this false breaks. We can see price showing us the descending correction and then come to the downside. So this setup, how could we caught it? It was basically simple, guys. We can see that we have this box region here again. We can mark this box region, as you guys can see. Price break to the downside. We can see price move to the down to the side in this box region. We can see the lack of intent. We can see a beautiful descending correction to the upside. This beautiful bearish candle, and then we can see that price was basically trying to squeeze against this resistance. But what we can also keep in mind is that we have a structure break to the left hand side, so that is a good take for us. So what we can see is we have this bearish engulfing candle that breaks structural lows here at this level of support, and that was a good entry for us to take position. So the next setup that I can see on this particular pair is that we can see that price did already break the structure lows. So we can see this beautiful impulse candle on this weekly demand zone. We can see price showing us a lack of intent to continue to the downside. We can see this beautiful wick area. So if we scale into our 30 minutes time frame, what you guys can see is that we are still bearish at all. So we can expect price to come and create a new lower high and then come and test this region again. So what I most likely love to do is from a Fibonacci from this high to this low, right? So now we can see is that this box region can also act as a level of resistance. So if market structure break to the downside, price will most likely come and test this 618 region here on my box range, and then continue to the downside and come and test this demand zone on a weekly level area. So this is basically my breakdown area, and what I can see on EURUSD, we are still very bearish. Sorry guys, we are still very bearish. So if I scale into, we are still very bearish. So if we can wait for price to showing us that we can let's scale to daily. If we can trade above this high, right, this higher low, then we can expect price to continue on to the upside, right, and come and test this area and this region here again, and will most likely come to this region only if price can break and give us a beautiful structure break to the upside and come and test this and break out, give us a beautiful structure break out of this area of 1.1738, guys. So this is my breakdown setup on EURUSD, guys. So don't be so in a rush to look for buys yet. We can see that the overall condition of the market is bearish, so it is best to wait for clean structure, guys, before you take any trade position, right? So it's very important to wait for structure, because why, guys? If we're looking for any buy position right here, we still have to kind of break out of this structure points here as well. We can see we still have to wait for price to break out of this structure points before we can take any position, right? Any buy position. So the most important to look out now is to keep that in mind, is that we are basically in a bearish condition, right? So let's jump into our last and final pair, guys. So this is my final pair, and I'm going to break it down for you guys. This is GBPAUD, also known as GBP Aussie dollar. So guys, let's start. So what I can see right here on GBPAUD is that price basically breaks structure lows and will most likely come and test this area. As we guys can see that we did break on a weekly time frame, we did break structure lows, right? We can see that price was creating a lower high also on our weekly time frame. So let's scale into our daily time frame to see more cleaner, right? What now? Okay, so what I can see right now on my daily time frame is that we did break out of this structure. You can see this box range right here. Let's just mark it, this box range. We did break out of this box range, right? So what I can see right from the start, I'm not even into it, that it's gonna be a good sign that price will give us a beautiful retracement back up, because why? We did create a lower swing high, right? And we can see that price is basically trying to showing us that we are going to the downside. It's always really important to go with the market flow, right? We can see this beautiful impulse break right out of this box region, right? So let's scale into our 4-hour time frame. Okay, let's just mark this box range, something like that. Bam. Right? So what I can see right now is that price is at this demand area, right? We can see prices at this demand area, at this structure point. We can see how price was reacting, breakout, beautiful lack of intent to continue to the upside. Price wasn't able to create a low, breakout, a beautiful impulse, and then retest and continue to the upside. We can see price are trading at this area right now. So what most likely we can see is that price will come in retrace back to this region here again, guys. We can most likely see price will come in this box region here again, and price will most likely come to the downside, because why, we can see we already in a bearish condition. After this beautiful box reason breakout, we can expect price to give us a beautiful retracement, right? So let's scale into our 1 hour time frame. So what I also can see is that we have another box reason right here, guys. We have a box reason right here. So this is a good indication that price can most likely come and test this region again and then continue on to the downside, right? Because why, we expect price to come all the way down to this region here at 1.85227. That is basically the reason that we expecting price to come to. So if I run a Fibonacci from this high to this low, we can see right from the start now that price will most likely come in this box reason here again if price decided to come for retracement, guys. So if price break out of this box reason, guys, it's not the indication for buys yet, right? It's not the indication for buys yet. So the other example that we can do for looking for shorts is Fibonacci from this high, right? From this high. Now we can see that, okay, from this low, right, from this low to this high, we will most likely face this region if price decided to break out of this box region and continue to the upside and come and test this region of 618 and then continue to the downside. But in the short-term scalping, guys, what I can see now is that price can most likely come for retracement, come into this box region and continue to the downside, guys. So this is basically my breakdown and my perspective, what I see on this charts, guys. So thanks, guys, for the subscribes. Thanks, guys, for supporting me on my journey while I'm coming up and giving you guys this free nuggets every single day and every single week, guys. So if you guys want to have breakdown setups every single day, you can join my free Telegram group, guys. The link is in the description. And if you guys looking for a reliable broker with low spreads and with low commissions and who never fool you over, please, guys, check in my description. The links is down below. It's your boy King GK here at Newton FX, and I'm out.